Okay. How do you want to work the act?
I expand, they tie me. I relax, the rope falls off. I got a skeleton key in the seam of the pants. Soon as I get the handcuffs off, I reach into the pants, get out a razor blade, cut myself out of the sack, get out of the false bottom of the trunk, and go to the surface of the lake like a cork. It's a cinch.
Yeah? How good a swimmer are you?
The greatest. You don't have to worry about that. When I was a kid, I was going to swim the English Channel. That's how good I was.
Well, we could put you over in a motorboat, pick you up the same way. That'd lessen the risk.
That'd be easy. I knew you'd see it.
Well, I don't see it. Sounds to me like a ticket to the graveyard.
Why, you're wrong, honey. This is a ticket to the big time, right, Harry?
Maybe. We'll have to see.
Tell me, what are you doing here?
Wanda, I had to see you.
I thought I told you.
I know Joe isn't here. I saw him swimming in the lake.
Tommy?
Yeah?
Would you do me a favor?
Certainly.
Would you put these on? Please. Now try and get loose.
I can't.
Of course you can't. Neither could Joe. If he didn't have this hidden on him someplace. Now try it.
The key. It won't turn.
No, of course it won't. It's the wrong key. This is the right one. You know that water trick he does where he gets thrown into the lake?
Yes?
Well, he's gonna do it in a couple of weeks. That's what he's practicing for now. And you know what I've been hoping and praying for ever since he decided to do it. You better go now, in case he comes back.
Chief Wallace, do you have the handcuffs?
Yes, I have them right here.
Now, Chief Wallace, you've examined these handcuffs. Are you sure they're genuine?
Oh, they're genuine, all right.
Then will you place them on, please?
Yeah.
May we have the rope, please? Now, will you gentlemen tie this rope around the body of the great Ferlini and make as many knots as you wish?
I warn you, Mr. Ferlini, I used to be a Boy Scout.
There. Now, Mrs. Ferlini, may I have the sack, please? Now, will you gentlemen lift the great Ferlini onto the sack, please? Now, pull the sack up over his head and fasten the top securely. And now, we have the trunk. Now, you gentlemen have examined this trunk and tested its locks. Is that correct?
The lock is okay, but why do you have all these holes in the trunk?
A good question. The holes are there to make the trunk sink faster. Satisfied?
Okay.
All right, then. Will you gentlemen lift the great Ferlini into the trunk, please? Chief Wallace? Chief Wallace, will you secure the lock, please? Well, now, are you gentlemen satisfied that the great Ferlini is securely locked in this trunk?
We are.
Then we are ready to put him aboard the motorboat. Give us a hand, Dave.
Sure thing. Ready?
I sure hope they know what they're doing.
This all right, Mr. Miller?
Yes, this'll do fine. All right, Dave. Let's get this trunk overboard.
Yes, sir.
There he goes.
He's not coming up, Mr. Miller.
He's got to come up. He's got to.
He's not coming up.
Dear friend, we are gathered here today to consign the mortal remains of Joseph Martin Ferlini to the earth which bore him. Who can say that Joseph Ferlini, in his last moment of earthly glory, was not happy in this choice which was made for him by the almighty arbiter of life and death?
Is this the Ferlini funeral?
Why, yes, but
I'm sorry to break this up, Reverend, but I'm from the county coroner's office. I'm afraid the funeral services can't continue. We have orders to attach the body of Joseph Ferlini.
but surely...
What's the matter? Something wrong?
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Are you Mrs. Ferlini?
Yes.
Well, we have a court order to attach your husband's body. The coroner wanted me to make a further examination. I'm afraid I'll have to open the coffin.
Open the coffin?
Yes, at the caretaker's cottage. We'll make the examination there. Would you gentlemen please pick up the coffin and follow me? Thank you, gentlemen. I'll call you when I need you. Oh, I'm sorry, you must go too.
Don't look, Wanda.
Well, you got to understand how it is in my business. Everything is showmanship, everything. And that's why Ferlini made this deal with me.
And just what was this deal, Mr. Miller?
Well, nobody knew about it but him and me. was crazy, I told him that. But he made me promise him that if anything ever happened to him, if he should die, that I would arrange a last escape. Something that would make him be remembered longer even than Houdini. And that's all it was, a trick.
A trick?
Well, I slipped the undertaker $50, and he arranged to have him buried someplace secretly. Then he put an empty coffin under the hearse. And that guy from the coroner's office, he was a phony, too, just an actor I hired. So you see what I mean? Showmanship.
I see. But I'm afraid that your showmanship has had quite an effect on Mrs. Ferlini. That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah. Well, I feel pretty rotten about that, Doctor. Could I see her?
I'm sorry, Mr. Miller, but that's impossible right now.
Yeah, well, I understand. Well, remember, Doctor, if there's anything I can do.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Thank you. Mrs. Ferlini, I really would try and rest if I were you.